back burner and put this book, Positive Energy 24/7, together first because this world is most definitely in need of positive energy 24/7. So I started out writing inspirational quotes and I was posting them on Facebook. I did this for 5 years. And a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine, asked me, have I ever thought about writing a book? I told her I hadn't, and she said, well, you should. And one morning it just hit me that I was already writing a book. I was already writing a book with those daily posts. So I went back, gathered all those posts from 5 years, put them in categories, and that was the foundation of Positive Energy 24/7.
Now, the story in your current book is centered around the lives of 4 childhood friends who define what it means to be family to the letter. And no family would be complete without a cast of characters who makes things interesting thanks to their unique way of being. As you stated previously, this book was your first book.
Yes, ma'am, it was.
And how do you do it? How do you come with the thoughts of these characters in your head? Is it due to your childhood experience? Or what is it? How did you come up with this thought for this book?
Well, fiction derives from reality. Though it's not reality, it, derives from it. So I took bits and pieces of my realistic life and incorporated them into this book. That was like the foundation. But then I just, was interacting. I have interacted with countless people throughout my 53 years of existence. And I just took bits and pieces of all those people's lives through our interaction and formulated characters. So, not all of the characters, because a lot of the characteristics and, way of beings, it just was purely imagination. But the majority of them, or a select few of them, it was based on my interactions with people throughout my 53 years of existence.
Wow. Now, will the readers receive a lesson from this book? Or will they be inspired by this book, or will they be encouraged by this book?
Well, I'm a firm believer in this, that great literature must consist of the 3 E's. And the 3 E's are encouragement, enlightenment, and entertainment. If your story contains these 3 E's, you have created great literature. And I'll give you a brief example of what I'm talking about. And you can just close your eyes and imagine, and you'll see all 3 of these E's in the movie that I'm about to use as an example.
Okay.
The movie is The Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody has ever seen The Matrix was encouraging, it was enlightening, and it was most definitely entertaining. And it's like one of the greatest movies, in my opinion, ever created.
Okay. Let me put it this way. What books have influenced your life the most?
The book that really and truly got me started, that made me even think about writing, was the autobiography of Malcolm X by Alex Haley.
Yeah.
When I read that book, Malcolm X became my mentor. I'm saying everything that man did I emulated his actions. I started off looking in the dictionary, writing down the words, studying each individual word. You know, it may take a whole day that I dedicate time to studying just one word. And that book right there set me on the path, but over time, I had read over 300 books. And it was how those authors had the ability to captivate my attention that I really and truly wanted to be a writer, because I wanted to possess that power. I wanted that. So I started writing for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until God intervened into my affairs and showed me that people really don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care.
There you go.
My writing took on a whole different meaning.
Okay. They say that writers often believe to have a muse. Your thoughts on that? Do you have a muse?
Well, my muse is all the authors that came before me.
Okay.
All of them. I'm saying all of them. Anybody that has literature that's documented, they were my muse.
Okay.
And if you look in the, because you do have the book Positive Energy 24/7, right. You look in there, and I pay homage to a few of the authors that really and truly inspired me to want not just to be a published author, but to be an author that will be remembered for having helped bring about change, positive change in people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's why I write.
Mm-hmm.
I write to have people reconsider what it is that they believe. Just giving them a different perspective. Not saying that mine is right and theirs is wrong, but just giving them something else to look at in the way up against what they believe.
Do you have a daily habit of writing?
Well, every morning, 4 o'clock, sharp, I'm up, and it's real tranquil, peaceful at that time of the day. So my thoughts are ever so clear. I mean, I can close my eyes and I can really, literally read my own mind.
Wow.
I close my eyes and I see the thoughts just moving across my mind like, you know, the credits after a movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the thoughts be going in my mind, like a credit in a movie. And I see them, it's so clear because there's no distractions.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing to distract me from focusing on what I'm looking at mentally. It's a mental vision, a mental picture, because that's where vision begins. It begins in the mind. If you can't see something clearly in your mind, you'll never see it clearly with your eyes.
There you go. So, do you find anything in particularly challenging when it comes to writing?
Truthfully, Susan, I do not. Writer's block, never experienced it. Because, see, my mind, it has a different way of working. It works differently. The reason why I've never experienced writer's block, because I always feed off what I did last. I'm always trying to outdo myself. I don't compete with others. I applaud them. If I'm not working with them, I'm rooting for them. I don't compete with other people.
Right.
My only competition is myself.
Right.
So when I do, because I put something together every morning. So I go back and I look at that and I say, how can I top this? Because I know I can. Because I done did it over and over and over and over. So I have no challenges because I'm always inspired by myself.
Okay.
My primary motivator is me.
There you go.
Even though I do have outside influences,
mm-hmm.
but they're not around me all the time.
Right.
So when I'm alone, 4 o'clock in the morning, who gonna inspire me?
There you go. Yourself.
I inspire myself
Yourself.
with my past creations.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you market your books yourself, or do you have someone else, a publicist, doing all of that for you?
well, I'm hands-on on all of it, because who's gonna really and truly promote you better than you?
There you go.
Who gonna really and truly dedicate the time necessary to pushing your project as intensely as it needs to be pushed to get into the hands of the people than you? Because other people have other things going on in their life. You're not primary. No matter how much you paying them, they're going to dedicate a certain amount of time to you, and that's it. But you, on the other hand, it's a whole different story. You can dedicate your whole day to pushing forth to being self-sufficient.
That's true. That is
Nobody's
so
going to
true.
do that outside of you. Nobody.
That is true. Are you currently working on any other books? Do you have any other books in the making?
I absolutely do. As we speak, my mind, is playing out the sequel to this latest book.
Okay.
I had a sequel, I already had a title. I had a character. Well, it's going to be characters from the primary book, or the book out right now, current book. And it's just going to be, it's going to be new twists and turns, but it's all going to feed off this book. It's a continuation of this book. And I have another book in the works entitled A Woman's Worth.
Okay.
Which I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of this book. I was going to put that book out. I was going to start working on that book after it was Destined Urban Legend. But then, how this book is, it needed a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
It needed a sequel. And to touch back, or to go back on what you said about how would this book affect the reader, I'm going to tell you with all sincerity, and I'm not just saying this because I wrote it. This book is going to literally change the lives of all those who read it.
Now,
it's a story, true enough, but it's a story of inspiration. These characters in this book, I made them all young, right?
uh-huh.
Well, the first 4 characters. I'm gonna give you a brief thing on the characters.
Okay.
4 primary characters are young. I made them, they're young and they're ambitious. So my primary audience is the youth, seeing that they are the future. These 4 young characters, when you meet any other character, you will meet them through them. They will introduce you to all the other characters. So no matter what, one of them or all of them is going to always be present in the scene. I made them all young, like I said, because I'm trying to inspire the youth. And I believe that the youth will inspire the elders. Because when they see these young, ambitious individuals doing things that they're capable of doing but not doing, I think that's going to spark something in them to make them want to get up and start doing something better than what they're doing. So it's a strategic, the book was strategically put together.
Okay, now let me ask you this, and I don't want to I don't want you to give too much away, but